14 years ago, I started my career in digital marketing. And throughout that time, I've built and sold a handful of online businesses, consulted for small shops to celebrities to the Fortune 500, and I've been recognized in business magazines like Forbes and Inc. as an SEO expert. To top it off, the United States government considers me to be in the top 1% of my field. Now, despite any success I've had in digital marketing, I have also made a ton of mistakes along the way that cost me valuable time and money. So today, I'm going to show you how I would learn digital marketing if I could start over, and I'll also share some of my biggest failures along the way. Alright, so the very first thing I do is choose just one area of digital marketing to focus on, and this is the opposite of what I did. So for context, in 2009, I started my first website, and I basically spammed forums and classifieds. That eventually slowed down, so I tried paid advertising, and well, I wasted my money because I had no idea what I was doing. But then social media was blowing up, so I pivoted to that and tried to go viral with coupon codes. Boy, was that embarrassing. But still, I was making a solid $2,000 a month. I was officially a businessman. I decided to hire a search engine optimization company because this is what we do. That was the turning point for me when my fire for SEO was ignited. They scanned me for everything I had. The good thing that came out of that, though, was that it fueled me with rage so much so that I committed to focus on learning just SEO. To get really good at it, so I wouldn't have to hire another company. And by around 2011, my company was worth over 7 figures, and the main reason is because of SEO. Now, by definition, digital marketing is just marketing that happens over the internet. So you can choose to focus on just email marketing, pay-per-click advertising, search engine optimization, social media marketing, etc. Digital marketing is just so vast that it's impossible to become a master of all areas. It's best to focus on just one area of internet marketing and to get really good at it. Now, after you've chosen the area of digital marketing you want to focus on, you need to make a mental commitment to learn as much as possible. Now, while there isn't a single right way to learn digital marketing, what I found to be helpful is to learn in 3 stages. So for illustration purposes, let's say you chose SEO as your focus area. Now, stage 1 is to focus on understanding the fundamentals. So in SEO, that would include things like why and how SEO is important for businesses, how search engines work, and the main ways SEO is done. So that includes keyword research, link building, technical SEO, and on-page SEO, to name a few. Fundamentals may not be exciting, but they are absolutely critical to learn, whether you're learning an instrument, a new recipe, or digital marketing skills. Stage 2 is all about making connections and how the fundamentals work together. For example, you should be able to make the connection in SEO that content creation is reliant on keyword research and that on-page SEO is connected with both your content writing and keyword research. Finally, stage 3 is all about learning how these techniques are executed. More specifically, you'll want to get an idea of workflows and tools that you'll need to do your job. For example, you should at least know that keyword research is done with a tool like Keywords Explorer. The way people find keyword ideas is by starting with a broad seed, going to a keyword ideas report, narrowing in on keywords with a set of filters, and then analyzing the search engine results pages to understand if it's possible to compete. These 3 stages are typically how courses are taught, and for that reason, I think it's worth taking a reputable beginner's course on the area of digital marketing you've chosen, like our free SEO Fundamentals course. This is something that I was too young and arrogant to do when I was getting started with online marketing. I went with the unguided route, and literally, anytime sometimes someone said advanced, I was like Pavlov's dog, and I give them all my attention. I wasted tons of time and money because for some reason, I subconsciously thought it would be more rewarding to figure it out on my own. Now, as you go through this learning stage and consume content, there's going to be a time when you feel like, yeah, this all makes sense. But I can guarantee you that when you actually get to doing it, it's not going to feel so straightforward anymore. And that's why the next thing I recommend is to commit to actually practicing what you've learned. In my opinion, there's no better way to learn digital marketing than to get first-hand experience. And the best way to do that is to create your own site. This way, you'll have a safe place to practice whatever and however you want. Now, as you commit to actually doing something, I highly recommend doing 2 things. Number 1, cut yourself off from all new content. You should have already consumed enough through a course or whatever resources that you use to have a high-level view of what it looks like to execute on the marketing area you've chosen. By cutting out new content, you'll be able to stay laser-focused on actually practicing the fundamentals that will be an essential building block to your career. Number 2, don't obsess over things that aren't moving your progress forward. For example, If you decide to build a hobby site so you can practice SEO, don't spend hours trying to fine-tune your logo, your fonts, or blog layout. As in SEO, you're going to want to focus on driving organic traffic through high rankings in Google. Now, if you're able to actually put all these things into practice, you'll learn very quickly how to actually get results with SEO or social media or email marketing or whatever area you choose to focus on. Now, if you want to know the fastest way to accelerate your growth and to put this doing stage into overdrive, then I recommend getting a job or internship at an agency. When you work at an agency, you get the unique experience of being able to work on a diverse group of projects. Not only is the exposure great, but it forces you to stretch that creativity muscle and to apply your learnings in various scenarios. Now, perhaps the biggest advantage to working at an agency is that you get to be in the trenches with people who are ahead of you in their digital marketing career. You can ask them questions, watch them solve problems, and in some cases, people may be willing to mentor you. Thriving agencies are usually fast-paced environments, which obviously make them a great place to learn digital marketing fast if that's your goal. Now, while you obviously want to learn a new skill as fast as possible, don't make the mistake of taking shortcuts to get there. I'm talking from experience here. Early in my career, I took an SEO shortcut that cost me 7 figures. My first company was an e-commerce store, and I was driving the majority of my traffic through SEO. Now, one of the hardest but most important parts of SEO is getting backlinks to your pages. Back 2010, in 2011, backlinks were pretty much all you needed to rank a page high in Google. So I came across a private blog network called Build My Rank, where I could buy virtually an infinite number of backlinks. And without fail, throwing a handful of links at each product page would boost it to the top of Google for queries that were converting into tens of thousands of dollars every single month. The thing is, buying backlinks was and still is against Google's webmaster guidelines. Now, while I was making a healthy living, I was getting ready to cash out. But without warning, I lost 85% of my traffic and a ton of revenue. So when I sold the site a few months later, instead of getting a low 7-figure buyout, I ended up getting much less. Now, had I focused on learning link building so I can build backlinks whenever I want, not only would I have had a much nicer exit, but I would have been able to apply those skills to pretty much every other SEO-driven business I created. Bottom line, avoid shortcuts because they can be costly, and you'll only realize that in hindsight. Now, another thing I would do differently is to actually build relationships with people. For the first 8 years of doing SEO, I literally didn't talk to anyone about what I did because most people just didn't understand, and it was lonely, and I was really just stunning my professional growth. What I would do differently, if I could start over, is to try and network with 2 different groups of people. Group would be like-minded people who are trying to learn the same area of digital marketing as you. They are basically a safe place where you can share your ideas, experiences, and insights without fear of judgment. And not only can you learn from each other, but you'll also find motivation from each other to get better at your craft. In fact, this is what Mr. Beast did with a group of friends in his early stages of his YouTube career. In interviews, he frequently attributes his success to having this group of people to grow. The second group of people I network with are people you respect in your niche. All it really takes is an email or DM saying, "Hey, just wanted to let you know that I really admire work.